Hey leaders, Matt Wilmington. Are you practicing thanks living? I'm shooting this video right now, the week of Thanksgiving, and everybody's talking about living thankfully and not just one time a year, one day a year after you eat a bunch of turkey before the football game, but thanks living, where we have the attitude of gratitude all year round. Now, why would I bring this up to leaders? Well, of all people, leaders need to learn gratitude. Sometimes you leaders are so hard charging. You're always on to the next thing. You get to the top of the hill and the people want to celebrate, but you're on to the next thing. No, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. Another hill to take. And so for us as leaders, we need to practice the attitude of gratitude. It's good leadership, but far more important than good leadership, it's good health, it's good life for us and our people. Quick passage today, Luke 17, and you ought to read this later, Luke 17, verses 11 through 19. It's about Jesus healing 10 lepers. It says, on the way to Jerusalem, Jesus was passing along between Samaria and Galilee. As he entered a village, he was met by 10 lepers. They stood at a distance and lifted up their voices, saying, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. When he saw them, he said to them, go and show yourself to the priests. And as he went away, they were cleansed. Then one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, praising God with a loud voice, and he fell on his face at Jesus' feet, giving him thanks. Now he was a Samaritan. Then Jesus answered, were not 10 cleansed? Where are the 9? Was no one found to return and give praise to God except this foreigner? And he said to him, rise and go your way. Your faith has made you well. A great little teaching story, a little healing story. Jesus says he's coming past a village. There are 10 lepers, and you remember the teaching that lepers were, they just were the outcasts of society. They couldn't live because their body was just deteriorating, and it was infectious. And so they had to live in little groups outside of town. But they had heard Jesus was coming by, and 10 of them get together and they stand apart, but they yell across the street, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us, because they had heard he was a healing God. Sure enough, Jesus turns and looks at them and quotes the Old Testament. He quotes Leviticus to them. He says, look, go to the temple, go show yourself to the priests, basically because you're getting cleansed right now. And so that's what he was doing. And they went there. In the Old Testament, it said that the priest would look at them and say, yes, you're healed, and you can go on from there. They go away, but one of them, as he looks at his baby soft, white, clean skin, he realizes that God has done something great. He turns around, he runs back, and he's praising God in a loud voice, and he falls at Jesus' feet. And Luke here in the story makes a point for his Jewish readers to know, and this man was a Samaritan. He was an outcast of outcasts. He was a Samaritan leper. That's about as bad as you can get. But he praised God, and he had this attitude of gratitude. And Jesus says, where are the others? Did I not cure these others? And yet there's just this foreigner coming back. And Jesus ends the story with an interesting phrase. He says, rise, go your way, to the Samaritan. Your faith has made you well. Now, what does that mean? They had already been cured. Why is he talking about being made well? They're cured. And yet, we see the Thanksgiving distinction here. You can be cured and not healed. Cured and not healed. I'm actually quoting a friend of mine, Ed Dobson, who was a Bible teacher. He was a pastor in Michigan for many years. He was here at Thomas Road for a lot of years as well, and he had ALS disease and lasted for 10 years or more with it. But I remember a teaching he gave on it. He said, do you want to be cured or do you want to be healed? See, cured means to relieve the symptoms of a person, to relieve symptoms of a disease or a condition. That's cured. But healed goes goes deeper. Healed is to cause someone to become sound or healthy again. See, in the story, the 10 had been cured. Their symptoms had gone away. Their physical disease was gone. But 9 of them left cured but not healed. One of them came back. And because of his gratefulness, he received his healing. See, leaders, a lot of times the people that we minister to or lead, they want to be cured. They want you to take away their symptoms. They want you to alleviate pain in their lives. They want you to make the path easier on them. And that's okay sometimes. But God is not interested in us being cured. He wants us healed down to the very bones and the marrow, down into our souls. And what causes the difference between being cured and healed? In the story, it's very clear. It was gratefulness. When this man stopped and praised God, slowed his roll, turned around, said, I can get on and lead, or I can get on and live life, but I'm coming back to the source of my healing, and I'm going to give thanks to God. That's what made the difference. See, when we are grateful to God, three things happen. Number one, we are showing humility. You can't fall at somebody's feet and sing their praises without showing humility. And humility heals us. When we're arrogant, when we're prideful, when we're bowed up, we can't be healed. Secondly, gratitude shows our dependence on God. It's so funny that there are many unbelievers who at Thanksgiving will say, I just want to give thanks. I'm so grateful. My question is, who are you grateful to? We can't just be grateful to the air. You have to give thanks to somebody. And gratefulness, gratitude, shows our dependence on God. God, this cure came from you. This church came from you. This organization, this team, this marriage, this all came from you. The last thing that gratitude does, not only it shows our humility and our dependence on God, but it shows just our appreciation. God, thank you for giving me this job. Thank you for this team. Thank you for this budget. Thank you for my kids. Thank you for my health. And so as you go through this season and lead forward, remind yourselves, and I need to remind myself, we can't just get the cures and keep going. Thank you, God, you answered this prayer. Now we got to keep going. Go, go, go. Next one, next one, next one. We need to stop, come back to God, and be grateful. As leaders, when we are full of gratitude, it will infect our followers, those that we serve, and it'll help all of us to come to God, and we will be healthy. And don't you really want to lead a healthy team and a healthy ministry? God bless you as you give thanks this season and every day. And when you do that, you will be leading second.